I hereby call this meeting to order at 7:10 p.m. Pledge of Allegiance, Chair Mitchinson.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the national anthem. You may be seated. Roll call and verification of quorum, Chair Hall.
I'm here. Pro Tem Kehoe.
Here.
Senator Mole.
Here.
Chair Matan is excused. Senator Dench.
Present.
Chair Bertram.
Present.
Vice Chair Richard.
Present.
Chair Mitchinson.
Present.
Senator Hedman.
Present.
Senator Temple.
Present.
Speaker Ananoki.
Here.
Chair Wanjin.
Here.
Senator Simcoe.
Present.
Chair Block. Vice Chair Amin. D-Leg Bonifant.
Present.
Chair Galloway. Is excused. Vice Chair Foster. Chair Gell.
Present.
Vice Chair Taylor. Senator McElvin. Senator Patel. Senator Jacobs.
Here.
Deezer Magdadaro. Vice Chair Costas.
Here.
Senator Collins.
Here.
Chair Holmes. Chair Cerisi. Chair Duque.
Here.
Ayala Huerta. ELA Jimenez.
Present.
And Vice Chair Boysen. Wait, okay. With 27 out of 17 or out of 32, quorum is verified.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes. If everyone can take a look over last meeting's minutes, and I will take a motion. Chair Duque.
Move to approve last meeting's minutes.
There's been a motion to approve last meeting's minutes. Are there any objections? Seeing none, I'll take that as general consent. The minutes stand approved. Approval of the agenda. If everyone can take a look over today's agenda, and I will take a motion. Chair Temple.
Move to approve tonight's agenda.
There's been a motion to approve today's agenda. Are there any objections? Seeing none, I'll take that as general consent. The agenda stands approved. Open forum. Any non-senators wishing to speak during open forum? Alrighty. Announcements from the student body president, President Hall.
I'm on. Oh, perfect. Okay. This week we had BOT all day Tuesday and Wednesday, so I have an update from that. We voted to confer all the degrees for spring 2022. So if you're graduating like me this spring, yay, it's official. We approved a new degree program. So now at the University of Central Florida, you can get a Master's of Science in Event Leadership, which is very exciting. We heard presentations from the Orlando Economic Partnership about advancement opportunities within the Orlando business community. And we also hosted a panel discussion focused on innovations in digital media, gaming, modeling, and simulation. And that was held at the downtown campus, which I'm sure many of y'all are familiar, but something so exciting about that campus is that EA Sports built one of their corporate offices right next to it. So it's a great program for UCF students to just funnel right into working at EA Sports. They came and spoke about partnerships at the BOT meeting, which was great. And then we heard an update about the Night Vision project, which is coming along very well. This morning, Austin and I attended the Seminole County Chamber of Commerce event, where we heard an update from the county commissioners for Seminole County. And then I have a couple reminders about upcoming events. So tomorrow is the Rosen Diversity Garden Construction, hosted by our Sustainability and Innovation Coordinator, Adriana Harris, which is tomorrow at the Rosen Garden from 3 to 4 p.m. This is their last event in Earth Justice Week, so come out if you haven't been able to make any of the previous events. And then next week, we have 2 events. On March 1st, we have I Voted at UCF Baseball. So at 6 p.m., you can vote in the SG election at the baseball game, and there'll be some promo and just encouraging students to get out and be civically engaged in SG elections. And then on March 3rd, we're hosting Puppies and Police. That's James Evans, our Safety and Transportation Coordinator, and that's going to be 1:30 p.m. on Memory Mall. So come out and see some puppies if you like puppies. This is a secret because I don't want people to dislike me, but I'm not a dog person, but I will be there anyways. So I hope to see you all too. That's it from me. Any questions?
Any questions for President Hall? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Announcements from the Student Body Vice President Wilson.
That was a secret we had to keep on the campaign trail, that Meg was not a dog person, because we were worried about our electability after that point. But good evening, Senate. I'm excited to be here. I have a couple of things to go over, but I promise I won't take too long. The first is we'll be having our agency and department strategic planning board February meeting next Monday at 2 p.m. I'm super excited to announce that I've asked Rosen Life and Downtown Student Life to serve for the remainder of the year as ex officio members on the agency department strategic planning board. We hope this is a step forward to furthering the collaboration we have with these campuses, and I'm looking forward to seeing kind of the feedback and the insight they provide regarding everything that we've been working on. I have a UCF alumni board meeting tomorrow, which I'll provide you an update on how that all goes. Next Senate meeting, I had the privilege this week to attend with some of our great student leaders in the agencies, some OSI assistant director interviews. Those were 4 individuals who were interviewed throughout the week, and I'm assuming Shane will make a decision very soon, which will be announced for who will fill that role. I also yesterday attended the Public Safety Awards ceremony held by UCF Police Department, which honored victim advocates, officers, and anyone else who was involved in some life-saving things regarding students. And so I was happy to attend that on behalf of student government, the executive branch. I also had the privilege to attend a couple meetings. These are listening tours that Dr. Piccolo, the special advisor to President Cartwright, has been engaging with regarding the strategic plan for the university. Specifically, I had the ability to meet with the Dean of the College of Sciences and the Dean today of the College of Engineering regarding the strategic plan and what those particular colleges would need to kind of see the plan going forward and kind of what would benefit their students. And that was great input that they provided. And then I'm super excited to announce, Meg and I have been sitting on this information for, it feels like a very long time, working with Dr. Guzman and everything like that. There's also a post about it on the UCF Instagram page if you have not heard about it. But today UCF announced a $5 million gift from the Ginsburg Family Foundation for the DEI efforts for this university. So the Ginsberg Center for Inclusion and Community Engagement will serve UCF students, faculty, staff, and members of the greater Orlando community. It will essentially engage and strengthen the community through education aimed at building cross-cultural and global competencies, as well as the opportunities to learn about and effectively serve various populations. So we're super excited to see this center be brought to campus. It's not a physical center, it's an alignment of resources and staff, and it will be bringing new people to this university as well to give their input. And we're looking forward to that holistic approach that would be provided. And they'll also have a focus on some civil discourse and civic engagement, inclusive teaching, learning and work environments, and developing overall strong partnerships with our community. This center, of course, will be led by the individual who definitely was the biggest champion in getting it done, Dr. Andrea Guzman, our Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. So we're looking forward to seeing how this affects the UCF community and moving forward. I'll be happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Any questions for Vice President Wilson? Chair Duque.
Not a question. I just wanted to publicly thank the Vice President for all his work around the Latinos in Action Committee and Latinos in Action Conference as a whole. I think it's important for us to all acknowledge that those are our future nights, and the Vice President has made that a priority, and I really appreciate the work that he's done. So huge thanks.
Well, thank you. Meg and I are extremely excited to be able to sponsor and help with that event because we know it's going to be great to be able to have those students experience a college campus when some of them probably haven't ever had that opportunity. So thank you.
Anyone else? Questions, comments? Seeing none, thank you. Comptroller's report, Comptroller Fabregas. You're fine. President Hall.
Yes, so sorry, I forgot. I was also Lexi. Okay, the CRT current account balance is $410,000 and $880 more dollars and 59 cents with a reversion rate of 14.844%. The FAO current account balance is $158,288.08 with a reversion rate of 25.295%. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Yeah, and if you have questions for Lexi, email them. And she typed up a little bit of a report in the agenda as well. Sorry, I blanked out. Alrighty. Cabinet Forum, none. Announcements from the Chief Justice. Chief Justice Gamera.
Hello, everyone. Few announcements from me. Juice with the Justices is confirmed for March 25th from 1 to 4 p.m. on Memory Mall. Please come out. We will have some Smoothie King and lots of fun things going on. It'll be a really good outreach event. We heard 2 parking appeals this week. I definitely think that our little SG TikTok has let students know a lot more about parking appeals, which is good to see. Our 2 newest justices are up to date on statutorily required trainings, so financial training, diversity training, and they did attend their orientation. And then our judicial spring retreat was on Friday of last week. It went really, really well. I wanted to thank Brody and Matan for their little acting skills for our mock training. It went really well. Our justices really liked it. And that is all from me. Any questions?
Any questions for Chief Justice Gamera? Seeing none, thank you. Announcements from the Supervisor of Elections, Supervisor DeLong.
Alrighty, it's that time. It's elections. That's on Monday. So we're coming to near the end of where I'm going to be coming here and blab in front of you guys for like 10 minutes every week. But yeah, so let's keep it sweet. There are officially 64 Senate candidates on the ballot. So that's good. Some colleges are very contested. The College of Sciences is pretty contested, namely Arts and Humanities is pretty contested as well. And surprisingly, medicine is also pretty contested. Those are the top 3, I think. And there are some that have some vacancies, like business, engineering. And there have been RSOs and councils and whatnot that reached out to me about letting them know which colleges have vacancies because they would want to let their members know and have them be write-in candidates, I guess. So they may get filled, those empty ones. They may not, but it's an option, and I've let them all know. I've sent them emails. So that's really cool. I also did just check the ballot like maybe 2 hours ago. Everything looks accurate, signed off on every page. So it should be right. Oh yeah. So I will be tabling for voting with EC on Monday, from Monday to Wednesday from 9 to 5. So I'll be right outside the student union patio. I'll have a big tent. I'll have one of those retractable banners that you can scan. It'll take you straight to my UCF so people can just vote on there. So yeah, and candidates, if any of you are running, again, then just know that you can table as long as you're not 15 feet from me. You can table there and direct them to my tent to vote. So that's cool. And there will be smoothies every day at noon. So those little 6-ounce ones. There'll be 150 of them, 3 different flavors, 50 each, I believe. So yeah, every day at noon, get a little refresher, tell people if they vote, they can get one. Cool stuff. Also, all of my promo is in, just a side note. So like, I think water bottles are coming in tomorrow and Monday, but everything else is in, like my favorite hat. So proud of it. There's 149 of these because this is mine. So I'll probably be giving out a few of them. I might take some of the baseball game because I feel like that kind of demographic might really like these hats. So when I go table for the baseball game, I feel like all the baseball fans are really going to like those hats. So hopefully we'll get a lot more voters. Oh yeah, results are going to be announced on Wednesday at about 8 p.m. in the atrium. So if you would like to be there, that's when I'm going to be announcing everything. 2 more things. Senate candidate forum was yesterday. Some students came through. It was a more low-key event than the debate was, the town hall debate. But, at least the candidates did get to know each other a little bit. There was some pizza. It was a good time. And lastly, I just want to let everyone know that there was a candidate that came in today and emailed me as well that wants to be a write-in for the presidential ticket. And so that there's a lot of precedent that we have to figure out with that. I don't really know exactly all the, logistical stuff and the protocol for that. So they are requesting opinions from AG Soto. He's already writing them. He gave me a call maybe 15 minutes ago. We discussed a little bit how that's going to work. Tomorrow, he said they should be available by tomorrow morning. I'm also going to try to get them put onto EC's website as quick as possible so you guys can all access them. But as of right now, that is all I know in this regard. Tomorrow morning, once he sends me those opinions, I'll know a lot more about how this is going to work. But the one thing I do know is they won't be on the ballot. They'll be write-in candidates. So yeah, are there any questions for me?
Any questions for Supervisor DeLaw? Chair Go.
Yeah, so this write-in candidate, were you saying you were putting them on the EC website, or were you not because they didn't declare in time?
No, I won't be putting them on the EC website. They're going to be write-in candidates, so they have to spread their name through completely word of mouth and through telling people to write them in the right way. But what I will try to get put on the website is the opinions that Jan's going to write, so everyone knows how this is going to work and they know what those write-in candidates can and can't do.
Vice Chair Costas.
I just want to make sure when we are submitting media to you, that's not through email, it's through web courses?
Correct.
Okay.
Anyone else with questions? Seeing none, thank you.
Alrighty, thank you.
Announcements from the Activity and Service Fee Committee Vice Chair Mitchinson.
Hi, everyone. The budget bill has its first signature from President Hall. It is now being sent off for its second signature from the SDS VP, Dr. Frame.
Thank you. Anyone with questions? Seeing none, thank you. Announcements from the Scholarship Committee Chair, none. Announcements from the Senate President. Good evening, Senate. We have 3 meetings left of the session. I'm very excited, and I hope you all are too. You all are doing great work, and I'm so excited to have we'll finish the session strongly with you all. More on that to come later. I just want to share some things that I've been doing and that are coming up. Most recently, I went to Evans High School yesterday with Chair Holmes and a couple other people involved in Black organizations at UCF, and we spoke about college preparation, mentorship, and I also touched on Senate, student government, and my position as well, which was super exciting and insightful. I highly encourage anyone who's interested to let me know. They are looking and always willing to have more people talk. And they have a series called College Conversations. So if you're interested, let me know. I will be a part of, and have been a part of, the Dean Search Committee for CCIE. Next week is one of our bigger weeks as we have a lot of interviews. So I may not be as available as you may want, but please rest assured, I am always like a text or a phone call away. I can definitely step out to answer any concerns you might have. But if you see me not as often, that's probably why. I also have been working with Brody for Senate orientation, which I'm super excited to help out for the next group of senators. And also, I will say this, that we hope and anticipate them to ask you all questions, especially since you all are the previous session, will be the previous session afterwards. So please be open and receptive to anyone that might be asking you questions. Give them information about Senate from your perspective, and be as candid, as welcoming as possible. If there are any questions you can't ask, please feel free to let me know or let the people who you feel would answer the questions best and accurately to the best of your ability. I have had some people reach out to me as well for questions like that, so I just wanted to let you all know. And then lastly, I put the link in the banquet RSVP there for everyone. It is due around Monday at 12 p.m. This just helps me set up things with Celeste, and I am working with them to get our space reserved, and I will be working with them for food and things like that. So more information to come, but please fill it out. Even if you cannot attend, please fill it out. And that's all for me. Any questions? Seeing none, Internal Legislative Assistant Report, Ayala Horta.
Okay, hey guys, really briefly, SLC, we went over 2 fiscal bills today. I had a resolution on the agenda, but we spent quite a little bit of time going into thorough detail on how to exactly go about a fiscal bill. So I thought that was super beneficial. In the past, we've done mock senates, but we've kind of like briefly went through fiscal bills, and this time we were able to go in depth. So I'm really happy about that, but that's really about it. That's what we did today. Thank you.
Any questions for Ayala Horta? Seeing none, thank you. External Legislative Assistant Report, Ela Jimenez.
All right. Hi, everyone. This week, we had dean meetings for the College of Engineering and Computer Science and the College of Graduate Studies. And next week, we have a dean meeting for the Burnett Honors College on Tuesday, March 1st from 9 to 10 a.m. And this meeting will take place in BHC 130. That being said, please reach out to my email if you guys would like to schedule a one-on-one to discuss your initiatives. And as always, if any news outlets attempt to contact you, please forward me the emails. But yeah, that is all from me, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
Any questions for Ela Jimenez? Chair Bertram.
Yeah, really quick. Is there an agenda made for the Honors College Dean meeting?
There is not, but one will be coming soon.
Thank you. Anyone else with questions? Seeing none, thank you. Senate President Pro Tempore Report, Pro Tem Kehoe.
Hi, everyone. Just a few things from me. Today, I was lucky enough to be able to table at the sustainability picnic between us and LGBTQ plus services and the Arboretum. It was a great event. I saw lots of faces, gave out many picnic blankets. They were a big hit. Yes. Y'all know your transition binders are due tomorrow, right? Y'all are kind of stressing me out with that. They're due tomorrow by 5 p.m. They should be emailed to whichever member of the pro temps or speaker's office you were assigned to. And they will have a week to look it over before it goes to me. So let's make sure those get done tomorrow. Just a few reminders about communication. We are approaching the end of the Senate session, and I do get CC'd on quite a few emails, but I know that people contact you in other ways. Please be sure that we're very much paying attention to the time that it takes to respond. If you have a question, you have GroupMe, you have email, make sure that you're asking those questions to somebody that might know the answer. Please don't wait until the Senate floor to ask a question, because we're coming up, we have a month left, and people need to get those answers, and we need to get our work done. And we don't need to delay that anymore. So just please make sure you're paying attention to communication and asking questions if you need help. And lastly, I just linked the legislation tracker because I know there's been some questions recently.
Any questions for Pro Temp Kehoe? Vice Chair Costas.
Do vice chairs have to do the transition binders as well?
Anyone else with questions? Seeing none, thank you. Deputy Pro Tempore of Legislative Affairs Report, D-Leg Bonifant.
All right, good evening, Senate. So this week I approved 5 fiscal bills, 1 resolution, and the Eternal Nights proclamations. The fiscal bills were assigned to Senators Simcoe, Block, Temple, Gell, and myself. If you haven't received your fiscal bill representation guide, even though I believe most of you are somewhat familiar, I'll send this out either later tonight or tomorrow. I did reject 3 fiscal bill applications. They were all timeline issues. Events were scheduled for March. And this is your last chance on the D-Leg feedback form, because I may or may not be one of those people that has not completed their transition file yet, and would really, really love that feedback so I can pass it on to the next DPT. I promise you don't have to tell me who you are. It won't take that long to fill out. And I like information, so would love to have some. That is all.
Anyone with questions? Seeing none, thank you. Deputy Pro Tempore Senate Relations Report, none. Caucus reports, APIA Caucus Chair Temple.
All right. Gunbawa Senate. So we did not meet this week, but we will be meeting this coming Tuesday at 3 p.m. in the student government conference room with a hybrid option. In lieu of meeting, however, members of the caucus, myself included, had represented student government and the caucus at events hosted by the Asian Pacific American Coalition on Monday and Tuesday. Shout out to them, by the way, for hosting really good events.
Any questions for Chair Temple? Seeing none, thank you. Black Caucus, none. Disability Caucus, Chair Cerusi.
Hello, everyone. Disability Caucus met today and discussed our upcoming Disability Awareness Fair on Tuesday, March 15th from 2 to 5 p.m. on Memory Mall. Please let me know if you would be interested in volunteering. I would love to have you guys there. We are also currently working on some initiatives for mental health awareness along with our ex officio members. You can review our minutes from today's meeting here, and I will give you guys more updates next week.
Any questions for Chair Cerusi? Seeing none, thank you. Hispanic Latinx Caucus, Chair Duquette.
Hola, Senado. We did not meet this week as we did not meet quorum. I urge all of our members to communicate when they will not be joining us, as important decisions may require a quorum in the future. I've been out for 2 weeks, and so much has happened, but I want to thank Vice Chair Boysen for holding down the fort in my absence. There's a lot happening in the background of our caucuses, around our caucuses priorities for the semester, and there will be more updates coming soon. Today's pin is a special one as it serves as a commemorative souvenir for the opening of the transfer center that we made happen. Last fall, there were no plans to reopen a transfer student space at UCF. However, it was thanks to our persistence and the work of 2 RSOs that I have the honor of representing, Tau Sigma and Transfer Knights, that the center happened. At the opening event, Dr. Barry shouted us out for being as involved and as persistent as we were. And I'm proud of the work that came out of what was originally one meeting at the beginning of fall. However, I'm even more proud to say that one of the biggest of my initiatives has now been completed and has positively affected more than 500 students already, including tons of Hispanic, Latino, Latina, Latinx transfer students. I'm not saying this to brag, but just to make sure that it remains top of mind that any of our future Senate candidates, if they want to do something, they can. I can't wait to see the great things they do, and I encourage all of them to reach out to me to learn about the caucus so we can keep pushing for great things.
Any questions for Chair Duquette? Seeing none, thank you. LGBTQ+ Caucus Chair Bertram.
Good evening, Senate. Caucus did not meet this week, but we had great representation at the sustainability picnic. As Pro Tem Keogh was saying, he was able to provide a little ambiance with the student government picnic blankets, so that's awesome. And then I also met with SJA and LGBTQ+ services regarding updates on the Pride Commons at Rosen Initiative. So some of the next steps include meeting with the Rosen Dean on more finalized proposals and things of that nature. So I'll be sure to keep everyone updated.
Any questions for Chair Bertram? Seeing none, thank you. Women's Caucus Chair Gout.
Hi, everyone. We're approaching Women's History Month, which is in March. We're in the process of planning a networking brunch and the Women's Empowerment Conference, which will be on March 24th. That was just announced by the UCFSG page. So please take a look at that. If you're interested in helping Women's Caucus, please reach out to me because we will be doing a segment during that. Caucus has been so amazing, and I want to thank everyone that is on Caucus for being so kind and willing to help and just being so gracious with me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am always super eager to help, and I just want to hear input from everyone else. We will be meeting Monday at 2 p.m. And so if you're looking to see kind of what we're about or what we're doing or just kind of want to get input on the events that we are hosting in March, you're more than welcome to join. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Thank you.
Any questions for Chair Gout? Seeing none, thank you. Unfinished business, none. Fiscal Committee caucus time, none. Fiscal Committee reports. Alrighty, so I'll be reading for CRT today. So hi, Senate. Unfortunately, Jonathan and I will both be out tonight. I hope you all have a great meeting. This week in committee, you can see all of the allocations that they approved and postponed, as well as the bills. Finally, this week, they had Publix brand panda witches. Wow. If interested in the committee's opinions, please see their 223 agenda. And if you have any questions, I recommend you reach out to them. Alrighty. FAO Committee, Vice Chair Richard.
Good evening, everyone. Unfortunately, Hannah's away at a conference tonight, but she wrote a little message. So sorry I can't be here tonight. A huge shout out and thank you to the committee for one of our busiest weeks this session. We had about 20 allocations, not including bills, I think. The budget is there. This week we approved 10 allocations, 2 of which will be seen on the floor tonight. Postponed 8 and PBI'd 1. We approved 1 bill. And then just a reminder, the fiscal allocation deadline is Monday, March 14th. And if you have any questions about FAO, please reach out to Hannah. Her email is there. Move to see allocations 53,210 and 53,222 as a block.
There has been a motion to see allocations 53,210 and 53,212 or 222. 222 as a block. Are there any objections? Seeing none, they will be seen. Would anyone like to make a motion for speeches, questioning, and debate? Chair Temple.
Move for 3-minute speeches, unlimited questioning, and unlimited debate.
There's been a motion for 3-minute speeches, unlimited questioning, and unlimited debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion will stand. Vice Chair Richard, you have 3 minutes whenever you're ready.
All right, so these are both for the same RSO, I believe for the same event. They're going to compete at a competition for like drone flying, which is a bill we're seeing tonight. The items they're using to build the drone, unfortunately, some of the items were over $100, which per our spending policy, we cannot fund individual items over 100. We asked them if they looked at alternatives. They said yes and provided justification that the committee felt was valid. And I will yield to questioning.
You're now in line for questioning. D-Like Bonifant.
So this is 2 allocations for the same event for the same RSO?
Yes.
D-Like Bonifant.
And then is the
One is an event allocation, one is a project.
okay, and the question I was going to ask is the bill for the same RSO? Sorry, I'm trying to get to y'all's allocation document.
Yes.
Mr. Magdadaro? No? Okay. Anyone else with questions? Are we still waiting? Mr. Magdadaro?
I guess this is like a point of information. For 53-222, it says, I don't see the supporting documents that specifies what project it is for. Because I remember in FAO, we didn't really run into that problem. May I ask a question? To Vice Chair, Vice Chair Richard, do you remember if they specified what event this was for?
You're talking about for 53-222? I do not remember.
Eli Bonifant?
So did you all discuss, because from what I'm seeing, it looks like both allocations are for, you did say they are the same RSO. Did you all discuss with the RSO if they're president committee or over email about the possibility of considering this as a bill, or is the date, like, is there a reason they didn't submit this as a bill?
That did not come up.
Chair Mitchinson?
Can I give a point of information? I think there's a little bit of confusion. So 53-210 is for an event on March 26th at the CDRA Championship training. And the event date for 53-222 is 2 days prior on the 24th. I think they're for two different events, but the same kind of events, if that makes sense. The other one's at the Atrium/Innovation Lab.
Mr. Magdadaro?
That's pretty much what I was gonna say. I'm assuming they're different events, given that they're in like different locations and different dates. And just like looking at the allocation request, they're relatively like different items. So I'm assuming they're doing different projects. My question, I guess, now is, I'm not sure if 53-210 makes sense as an event allocation, if most of these things are like materials that you would use to build a project, if that makes sense.
Chair Mitchinson?
I think that based off my understanding, the project is to build the actual drones that will then be used for the event. So they kind of tie together, but they're not directly the same thing. So I think that's kind of why there's been confusion.
Chair Temple?
I think this is going to be a point of information. I sat in on the committee they met, and I believe that, to my recollection, that these are separate events. I believe 53-210 is its own event, but 222 was meant to be used for a larger drone that the club, the organization is intended on building. If I'm trying to remember what exactly happened then, but I think somebody could corroborate that information. That would be helpful.
Chair Duque?
Just a point of inquiry. I'm not sure if the bill timeline requires us to pass this today, or if we are able to get some clarification on this stuff. Are we aware of whether that's the case?
Is there a motion for a non-committee member to speak?
So moved.
Rudy?
Hey, all. A member of that RSO is here and could answer some of those questions. If a senator, if a senator would like to yield their time or make a motion for a non-committee member.
Chair Mitchison.
Move to go to debate.
There's been a motion to go to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Chair Mitchison.
I yield to the non-committee member.
Hi, welcome.
Sorry about the delay. My name is Richard. I'm on the executive board for FPV Nights. I just wanted to clarify, 53-210 is for an event. We're competing in the Collegiate Drone Racing National Championship, where we've placed first and second every year that we've gone. We're one of the top drone racing schools in the country, if you're not aware. So that event, 210 is practice events. The drone parts that you're referring to are batteries. And a club drone. The drone itself that you're seeing on there is for new members to fly, and the batteries on there are because batteries are consumable in our hobby, and we need them to fly, so they're going to be used during the event. 222 is an X-class drone. It's actually exactly the same as a lot of senior design projects, or at least very similar, and it's going to be used to teach members about what that senior design project may look like. So those are the two bills. So apologies for the confusion, but they are two separate things. And the X-Class will be used, the project will be used during workshops that are separate from that event.
Deeser Magdadaro.
May I direct a question to the RSO and to Brody? Okay. So for allocation 53-210 for the RSO, will you be hosting this event?
For 210, yes, we will be.
Vice Chair Richard.
I did just remember one thing to add. For the drone racing gates, the price was listed as one price for a pack of 5. So we had to list it as one, but it actually, like, if you break it down, it is less than 100 per gate.
Anyone else for debate? Chair Go.
Yeah, so from my understanding, it seems like the RSO cleared up what was misunderstood on the floor. We saw them in CRT for a bill, and honestly, seeing the drones and we got to watch the clips, it was legitimately so cool. And so I will be voting in favor of this, assuming that everything checks out. So please correct me if it does not. But assuming that it does check out, I would encourage you all to vote in favor. And if you do have the opportunity to watch their videos, it is so cool. I cannot emphasize that enough. And yeah.
Anyone else for debate or with a motion? Chair Temple.
Move to vote on the suspension of policy, of FAO spending policy.
Do we have to do the specific? Okay, cool. There's a motion to suspend part of FAO spending policy to approve allocations 53, 210, and 222. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we will now be in voting procedures. With a vote count of 20 to 0 to 1, allocations 53 210 and 53 222 are approved. Alrighty, any questions for Vice Chair Richard? Seeing none, thank you. RS? Sorry. ORS Committee Chair Mitchinson.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Okay, hi all. This week in committee, we saw 5 post-funding hearings. 4 were approved with no sanctions. 1 individual for CRT allocation was sanctioned at 5%. We also approved 2 post-funding forms.
Any questions for Chair Richardson? Seeing none, thank you. Fiscal legislation. Notice the legislation on first reading, bills, Fiscal Bill 5353, funding for students for the exploration and development of space to host Space Gala in Orlando Science Center on May 3rd, 2022, introduced by Senator Simcoe, is hereby remanded to FAO. Fiscal Bill 5354, funding for Active Minds to host Turn Up the Volume for Mental Health in Live Oak Center on April 22nd, 2022, introduced by Chair Gell, is hereby remanded to FAO. Fiscal Bill 5355, funding for American Society of Mechanical Engineers to host the ASME, Electrical Longboard and Innovation Lab Engineering 101C on April 22nd, 2022, introduced by Chair Block, is hereby remanded to FAO. Fiscal Bill 5356, funding for Knight's experimental rocketry to build a rocket for Friends of Amateur Rocketry 51025 contest in Mojave, California on June 2nd, 2022, introduced by DPT Bonifant, is hereby remanded to FAO. And lastly, Fiscal Bill 5357, funding for Asian Pacific American Coalition to host the Hidden Locust Awards in Cape Florida Ballroom on April 20th, 2022, introduced by Chair Temple, is hereby remanded to FAO. Resolutions, none. Special acts, none. Notice of legislation on third reading, bills, Fiscal Bill 5344, funding for 9 members of Counselor Education Doctoral Students Organization to travel to the American Counseling Association Conference and Expo in Atlanta, Georgia from April 7th, 2022 to April 10th, 2022, introduced by DPT Bonifant. DPT Bonifant, you have 3 minutes whenever you're ready.
There's actually a member from the RSO here. They weren't able to make it last week, right? No? Am I making this up? Okay.
Welcome. Do you have a PowerPoint or no?
I was informed that Brody has it.
Okay, cool.
I can also just start speaking on it as he pulls it up. But yeah, so I'm with the SETSA organization. We're a doctoral organization that provides access to mentorship and camaraderie through the counselor education program. Oh, thanks. So the conference we're attending is the American Counseling Association Conference. It happens every other year. Typically, we have several people presenting at that conference or obtaining awards. This year, we have mostly people presenting. I just talked a little bit about our organization. The conference allows us to engage in educational presentations on topics related to counselor education and supervision, as well as network with professionals within the counseling profession, whether they're practicing or whether they're educators. And so it's just a great opportunity for us to be able to engage with our community, especially because we haven't been able to over the last 2 years due to COVID. This is the first time they're hosting the conference since the pandemic. As you all have seen the budget, conference registration for 9 people is $3,465. Hotel stay for 9 people is $5,758 for 4 nights, and flights for 9 people is $1,234. I believe that number is adjusted from the committee meeting when they adjusted the ticket price to $150, I believe. And so, yeah, or we're requesting 50% funding from Senate for us to be able to attend this conference. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now in line for questioning. Vice Chair Foster.
President voting.
So noted at 7:59 p.m. Anyone with questions or a motion? Chair Gell.
Do you have 2 financially trained officers who understand post-funding process should you revert any money?
Yes, myself as the acting president and our vice president.
Anyone else with questions? Chair Cerisi.
Move to go to debate.
There's been a motion to go to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Anyone with debate? Teacher Magdadaro.
May I ask a question?
You may.
Are you aware of the next steps after we have approved this in third reading?
Yes, I believe, I don't know titles, but an accountant will contact me about the funding processes.
May I retain? Okay. I will be voting in favor for this. Yeah, move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote on Fiscal Bill 5344. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we will now be in voting procedures. With a vote count of 21 to 0, Fiscal Bill 5344 passes third reading. Vice Chair Amin.
Present and voting.
So noted at 8:01 p.m. Alrighty. Yeah, no problem. Fiscal Bill 5345, funding for 18 members of Collegiate DECA to travel to the Internal Career Development Conference in Baltimore, Maryland from April 9, 2022 to April 11, 2022, introduced by ORS Chair Mitchinson. Are you from DECA? Yes. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amanda Chin. I am the president of UCF Collegiate DECA. So what we are a business competition club here on campus. Our funding is going to be going towards our national competition. We just had our state competition this past February, which is hosted at UCF. Our national competition will be in Maryland. There we'll be able to network with other individuals across all different countries. We'll be able to network with professionals in our desired fields, and we'd also be able to compete on a national level in business case competition studies.
Thank you. We are now in line for questioning. Chair Go.
Similar to what I asked the other RSO, do you have two financially trained officers, and are you familiar with the post-funding process? Shall you avert money?
Yes, myself and the treasurer are financially trained, and we are familiar from the last meeting, so thank you.
Teacher Magdadaro.
Just a clarifying question. The name of the bill says the conference is from April 9th to 12th, so I believe that's 2 nights. I'm not sure, or 3 nights. I'm not sure if there's like an extra day dedicated just to get everyone prepared, or.
So we would be flying in April 9th and then staying the 4 nights, April 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, and then coming back the 13th on a flight in the morning.
Anyone else with questions? Chair Temple.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to go to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Chair Temple.
May I retain?
You may.
Right. So I remember seeing them through in CRT, and I will vote highly in favor of this. I love to see our business students go out and make a name for UCF. So I wish you the best in Maryland. Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote on Fiscal Bill 5345. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we will now be in voting procedures. With a vote count of 23 to 0, Fiscal Bill 5345 passes third reading. Alrighty, Fiscal Bill 5347, funding for night riders to host Night Riders Track Weekend in Jennings, Florida on April 16, 2022, introduced by BBT Bonifant.
Hi, also the RSO isn't here tonight, but they did present to us last week. This is an event they hold once per semester. The reason it is held in Jennings is that is one of 2 tracks that are available for motorcycles in the state. And this is where they normally hold the event. Let's see, it is open to students and alumni. And I believe they also open it for general, but they do focus on students, opening it first to them and then slowly opening it up to the other populations. But nothing has changed about the bill. So if you have any questions, I will do my best to answer them. If not, I did tell the ARSO to be ready with email so I could send any questions their way.
We are now in line for questioning. Chair Temple.
So DPT Bonifant. So do you know if the RSOs have two financially trained officers and if they are aware of the post-funding process?
They just recently re-registered, so I'm pretty sure they do have two financially trained officers. Also, they, I believe, answered that question last week, and regardless, I will follow up with them after this reading, as I did with the last reading, explaining what will come next, and I'll also be sending emails to go out to them close to the reversion date so they can know what's going on.
Anyone else with questions? Senator Dench.
Just as a point of information, I guess they did say at the FAO committee meeting that they do have two financially trained officers. I don't know, why is that everyone's favorite new question? I kind of like it.
Anyone else with questions or a motion? Senator Dench.
Move to go to debate.
There's been a motion to go to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Anyone wishing to debate? I lay horse up.
May I retain?
You may.
Yeah, so this seems pretty cool. I think I like my favorite line is like where they get to practice this in a safe environment, and that's obviously good. But yeah, I'm excited for them, and I encourage all my fellow senators to vote in favor, as I will be doing the same. Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote on Fiscal Bill 5347. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we will now be in voting procedures. With a vote count of 23 to 0, Fiscal Bill 5347 passes third reading. Resolutions, none. Special acts, none. Notice of legislation on second reading. Bills, Fiscal Bill 5346, funding for Central Florida Hillel to host Passover celebration in Northview on April 15, 2022, introduced by Senator Dench. Senator Dench, you have 3 minutes whenever you're ready.
Is the RSO here for us? Okay. I will go ahead and give it to them.
A PowerPoint. Thank you. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Julia Bedrin. I'm VP of Finance for Central Florida Hillel. Oh, thank you. So for those of you who don't know what Central Florida Hillel is, we're a pretty big Jewish organization on campus. We hold weekly events for Jewish and non-Jewish students, and Passover is definitely one of our most attended holidays because it is one of the most important holidays in the Jewish religion. So we're going to be hosting it April 15th to the 16th, which is Friday to Saturday. So just a bit of background, Passover is the holiday that celebrates the liberation of Jews from Egypt. It's a great way for Jewish people to get together, enjoy lots of food. There's a lot of traditions and customs that we do take a part in during the holiday. So it's very important for us to provide Jewish students with a place to celebrate because a lot of them are used to celebrating it at home. And obviously, since they're all away, it's definitely very important for us to have a celebration. And yeah, Passover is our second most attended holiday. The first is our high holidays, which occur in like the beginning of fall semester, so August and September. And on a non-COVID year, we would get about 300 students. Our numbers are looking really good despite, everything with the pandemic. So we are hoping for 300 plus students this year. So for promoting and marketing, we have a Facebook and an Instagram with over 2,000 followers. And we also have smaller like WhatsApp group chats with student leaders and students who just attend events. So we do have marketing student leaders who will create like an ad that we can post on these social media platforms, as well as send them in the texting groups. We are also very connected with parents, alumni, and community members. We love to share with them what's going on and let them see that we are really spreading a lot of good in the Jewish community. So each year, Central Florida Hillel raises $1 million in order to put on events like these. And it's really important to us because we love the fact that we invite over 1,400 students a year at no cost to them to be able to partake in weekly events, especially these high holidays. And this is the cost breakdown for everything. These are all pretty vital to a holiday like this one. And there's things like a wait staff that'll help serve food. The food is one of the most important parts, as well as the more traditional things like the matzah, the Seder plate, and the Passover book. And on the left is just the split contribution. The numbers are actually not right. When I was here yesterday, they were doing the math and it did not add up to 9,000 around that. It was a bit less. I think it was like maybe 800 less than that or so. So I apologize for not changing that. So I think it was changed on the actual like fiscal bill, but yeah, so that's it. Thank you.
We are now in line for questioning. Chair Temple.
Yes, a point of clarification for this. She is right. The number on the bill is off from the PowerPoint because, to my recollection, you used rounded numbers or something thereof.
Okay. Yeah, when staff had given me the numbers, they had rounded up a lot. So I changed it to the exact prices, but I guess I forgot to recalculate the total. And that's why it showed up maybe in that number that's very off.
Chair Wanchen.
Are you comfortable with the post-funding process and submitting your verification of purchase forms?
Yes.
Chair Gell.
Thank you. Sorry. You're okay. Thank you so much for coming out and taking the time. I just have a question about the wait staff. And this is honestly open for the floor too. Is that $720? Was there like a tip allocated in that? Just because I know like you should tip your wait staff. So is that already allocated in the $720?
I don't have a 100% answer for you. I believe there is. We haven't actually gotten the invoice from the wait staff yet. We're waiting on wait staff and food, but we do have previous ones from previous years. So, but I don't want to say 100%, but I think so.
So are the numbers subject to change? Like, is the cost of these things then subject to change if we're still waiting on the exact numbers?
Obviously, yes, there is a chance that they could change, but not by much. We are in direct contact with both the wait staff and the food. They just haven't sent us invoices.
Delight Bonifant.
I have 2 questions, if I may.
You may.
First question, did you discuss with, there we go, with Senator Dench the option of seeing this bill on 3rd reading tonight?
I have not, no, discussed that.
Would you be comfortable with that option? Just because of the timing of the event, I think you should be okay, but it's like right at the edge there to make sure you're getting funding. But I would also like to hear during debate if people have opinions about that, given that the quotes aren't finalized.
So what does it mean, like, by 3rd reading? Like, I guess that would be something that would come after this. So we just, like, move to that process. Like, what would be required from me differently than now for that to happen, if that makes sense?
It's all good. We're not allowed to wait till recognized. So yeah, we just have to do some procedural things to change where it is in the agenda. We do have to finish this reading first, but we would just see it on the final reading tonight, potentially.
Senator Dench.
Move to go to debate.
There's been a motion to go to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Senator Nench.
So of course I'm not the FAO chair anymore, but in my previous experience, I don't think this would need to be seen on third reading. It's April 15th and we have a little bit to see it. I think that that should be fine. With them not having the exact quotes, like you said, you've been in constant contact with the suppliers, I guess you could call them. So those emails and stuff that you have with them will be enough to make those purchases from them, and you'll eventually get those invoices. I'm sorry, I've had a long day. But I think that there's still plenty of time with it being April 15th. So we don't need to see it on third reading. Obviously, if we'd make everybody feel more comfortable to see it on third reading tonight, I mean, we can, but I don't think that that would be necessary.
Chair Bertram.
A question, if I may.
You may.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I just know, given Hillel's previous issues with the student government funding process, I wanted to know what steps you've taken to make sure that your RSO is better equipped and more knowledgeable about filling out a verification of purchases form.
So I think definitely messing up helped us a lot because we were very new, especially me. I was very new to this process. So having it happen where I did not fill out the post-funding form, and obviously that resulting in us having a sanction. And then I came to the meeting and fortunately it was reverted. But having that happened definitely opened my eyes to the fact that I have to pay attention to the small detail. I didn't realize that I had to do that until now. And I've obviously made staff aware of it too, because staff is very involved with helping me do all of this stuff. So yeah.
Chair Wanjin.
May I direct a question to the RSO?
You may.
In the case that you revert or have a late verification of purchase form, are you committed to attending within the 4 weeks that you are given to represent yourself?
Yes.
Vice Chair Richard.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote on Fiscal Bill 5346. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we will now be in voting procedures.
All right, not sure how this happened, but I don't have a vote for this bill, so we're going to use a different one, but it's fine. Just ignore it.
With a vote count of 19 to 0 to 1, Fiscal Bill 5346 passes second reading.
So about the third reading, is that just we're gonna wait for that? I guess. I don't know.
Unless someone moves to, then yes. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Fiscal Bill 5350, funding for 22 members of Knights Experimental Rocketry to travel to the Friends of Amateur Rocketry 51025 contest in Mojave, California from June 3rd, 2022 to June 5th, 2022. Introduced by DPT Bonifant, is PPI'd and CRT. Oh, it's postponed, sorry. Thank you. Fiscal Bill 5351, funding for 7 members of Society for Information Display to travel to Display Week 2022 in San Jose, California from May 10, 2022 to May 13, 2022. Introduced by Senator Hedman. Is there anyone from the RSO here? Welcome.
And also we have the slides. So hello everyone, my name is Qian Yang, a third-year PhD student at Creel. I'm also the president of Society for Information Display. This year, 7 members of SID will attend an international conference, Display Week 2020, in San Jose, California, from May 10th to 13th, including 1 advisor and 6 PhD students. Last December, each of us submitted an abstract to the conference committee, and they are all accepted. So in Display Week 2020, 2022, members who are attending will present their research, attend sessions led by experts in the field, and network with other professionals in the field. All the attendees will bring back knowledge about the state of art, technology, as well as connections with other researchers and educators that may benefit UCF. So in the past, for example, in 2020, we won 4 SID Distinguished Student Paper Award, and there are total 20 recipients worldwide. Last year, we won 5 SID Distinguished Student Paper Award, and also there are 20 recipients worldwide, and 1 GSID's Best Paper Award. That's for only 1 person in the whole world. This year, we hope that we can have more fruitful results. The cost breakdown. So the registration fee for each person is $265. The registration for this year is not open yet, so we use the registration receipt from previous years as a reference. The conference starts on May 10th, and we need to check in a day before that. And the meeting ends on May 13th, so there will be 5 nights overall. We have 7 attendees, so if 2 can share 1 room, that will be 4 rooms. The price for 1 room, 1 night at Hilton San Jose is $299. So on average, the cost for lodging per person is $854.3. The round trip airfare for each person is about $500. So in total, our cost for 7 attendees is $11,335. So the rest slides is just for the codes for registration, lodging, and flight. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now live for questioning. Deezer Magdadaro.
Hi. I just wanted to clarify. So the people traveling with you, you said you would be bringing 1 advisor as well. How many in total?
Yes, that's correct. So 6 students and 1 advisor. That will be 7.
Deezer Magdadaro.
Floor, are we allowed to fund travel for non-members of RSO, I guess?
So actually, the advisor is the member of the RSO. No, he's not a student. He's a professor.
Vice Chair Foster.
Is it the faculty advisor for the RSO? Yeah, he's a part of it.
Senator Dench.
I'm sorry, I was thinking. I'm not sure if through spending policy we can fund, even if they are technically a member of the RSO, any faculty member. We can? Okay. Oh, you both like nodded at me, so I was like, okay. I don't know, Brody, we can. I'm correct?
You are correct. You cannot fund non-students.
Okay. So yes, sorry.
Delag Bonifant.
So what I'll urge you all to consider is, yes, while we can't fund faculty members, this does represent like the full cost of the RSO. We can potentially specify, there are 2 options. We can specify within the whereas clauses or just in the verification of purchase process and the post-funding hearing process about who the funds went to make sure the ASF funds did not go to fund the advisor for their registration or their hotel stay or their flight. But those are still, right, that's still a cost that the RSO will incur, even if, we're not paying for it.
Anyone with questions? Or a motion? Chair Cerisi.
Move to go to debate.
There's been a motion to go to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Chair Gell.
I have a question for the RSO then. If, may I ask? Okay, thank you. So considering we cannot fund the advisor, will you still be needing 4 rooms, or would three would be I guess it's a question for the floor as well. Should we go from 4 rooms to 3 rooms then, since they're only paying for 6 students to go and it's 2 people per room?
Chair Magdadaro.
I guess I'm not sure if this will semi-answer that, but I guess going back to Lauren or DPT Bonifant's point is that we can still technically put 7 in the line items. It's just that because we're funding 50%, the 50% that the RSO will pay for, that can account for the, I guess, individual, the faculty, rather than like our ASF funds going to them. So like, does that make sense? I'm not sure.
Anyone else with debate? Aile Horton.
Yeah, so I get what Chair Guel was saying, but I'd also I don't know if the students would feel comfortable. Like, I don't know what the ratio of like boy to girl or whatever, so I don't know if we want to like minimize the rooms without like an actual answer from.
In the 6 students, there are 4 male and 2 females, and the professor is a male. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So can I? So yeah, I guess I don't know. This is like such a weird topic of conversation, but I guess I pose a question to the floor, or to Brody. Like, I don't know how that usually works. Can someone help?
Is there a motion for a non-committee member to speak? Brody?
When you say I don't know how that usually works, what do you mean specifically?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Like, I guess I've never even thought about this before, but they want 4 rooms, which is fine. But like, how does that work? Does it matter? Like, because I know like in high school trips, or middle school trips, they'd separate the boys and the girls. I don't know if like in like college trips they do that, and like if that affects the amount of rooms is what I'm trying to get at. Taking forever to get at.
So yeah, normally how we have done it is, or how the business office really has done it is split up. And like, regardless of how many people you put in a room, put the boys in a room and the girls in a room, et cetera, et cetera. I would assume the intention was to have, 2 in a room, 2 boys, 2 girls, and then the advisor by themselves, because you would not put a faculty member with a student, right? So I think if you chose to reduce it to 6 individuals, I think you could move it down to 3 rooms reasonably.
Senator Dench.
Please, Lauren, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe doesn't in the wording where it talks about fiscal bills say that the entire cost that the RSO is taking on should be on the bill no matter what, like even if we can't pay for part of it?
T-Leg Bonifant.
Okay, so I was raising my hand for something else. So if I could continue with that after I answer Senator Danger's question. So yeah, for FAO, I think it does specify that in FAO's policy, it says that ineligible items can't be included, but in CRTs, there isn't that line, which is super fun. And traditionally, I will say, like when I have written fiscal bills, if there are ineligible items that would be potentially covered by the half that the RSO would be paying, I have included them because, again, this is the full cost the RSO is incurring. I love trying to give as much money away as possible to RSOs and supporting them in that way. On the like hotel room occupancy questions, I was looking at the quote, so may I direct a question to the RSO?
You may.
The rooms are single beds, right? They're just, I think it was a single king bed, right?
Yes.
Chair, go.
Yeah, so I was inquiring about the 3 rooms. Would it be inappropriate, this is a question for the floor, to just keep the 4 rooms that they requested? Or is that not something that we should do?
Chair Bertrand.
Where are we in debate? Okay. Yeah, so regarding the comments that were just made, I think what DBT Bonifant is saying is that even if we can't fund a particular part of the bill, that would just go on the RSO's contribution side. So the actual ASF dollars wouldn't be funding that part. So that's where the whole like taking the room off or amending the bill is kind of questionable, because you're just lowering the overall amount of money that we're giving to the RSO when you could just shift that money to their contribution essentially.
Anyone else with debate? Eile Horta.
So should I like delete my amendments? Someone? Okay, yeah.
Senator Dunch.
So if it were my amendment, I would remove them just because, we don't want to take that away from the RSO. I know we've had to do this a couple of times. It's always confusing explaining the 50% thing to everyone who's not part of FA or CRT, just because it's weird. It doesn't make much sense when you're trying to think about it. But like Jake was saying, 50% we fund, 50% they fund. It's never specified what that 50% amount is. So, there's the one person that we can't fund, so that's going to be on the RSO to fund, and part of our funding will go to more of something else. The room really isn't affected by that at all. So in, my opinion, it wouldn't make sense to change them to be less rooms. That's just, I don't think it would be necessary to do for the RSO. We definitely have the money to fund, an extra room too. It's not like we're holding on here too.
Do you like Bonifant?
May I direct a question to Brody?
You may.
I'll let him answer whatever he has to say to Hannah first. Right. So I just want to check that policy about not being able to fund faculty and staff. I mean, that's ASF. Like even like hypothetically, if we had a bill that was only funding faculty members, they would just not purchase any of that. Right.
Chair Bertrand.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just debate. I know it's we're not in debate on the amendments because there has been a motion, but just like debate against the amendments that are on the document, unless if they were removed and I haven't refreshed it. But okay, perfect. My internet's like shaky. Sorry, Hannah, but thank you.
Chair, go.
So, okay, yep, never mind.
Do you like Bonifant?
I have a question for the RSO, and then I'd like to make a motion.
You may.
So I just wanted to clarify, you had listed that you have 7 members in the RSO. Is that number including the advisor?
Yes.
Move to see my amendment.
There's been a motion to see Do you like Bonifant's amendment? Are there any objections? Seeing none, would you like to speak on it?
This was related to the question. This is just something they input on the form. There are only 6 members, as there are only 6 students that are in the RSO.
We are now in line for questioning, unless someone would like to make a motion. Chair Temple.
Move to vote on the amendment.
There's been a motion to vote on D-Leg Bonifant's amendment. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we'll now be in voting procedures. With a vote count of 21 to 0 to 0, D-Leg Bonifant's amendment passes. We are still on debate over Fiscal Bill 5351. Teacher Magdadaro.
I mean, overall, it looks good, unless Chair Temple, I'm not sure if that's just a technical, but everything else looks good. The numbers add up. I will be voting in favor for this. Seems like we've cleared up a lot of things.
Did you say are there technicals?
I'm just trying to remove those outright. I'm.
Oh, you're
struggling.
trying to delete them?
Yes, please. I'm sorry. I'm so not used to this.
Chair Temple.
I'll try and save face. May I retain?
You may.
So this bill, although we had a plenty of discussion about the logistics of it, everything seems to have come out clean. The numbers all add up, and yeah, just move to vote, please.
There's been a motion to vote on Fiscal Bill 5351. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we will now be in voting procedures. With a vote count of 20 to 0, Fiscal Bill 5351 passes second reading. Alrighty, Fiscal Bill 5352. Funding for 16 members of Financial Management Association to travel to the 2022 Money Show Las Vegas Investment Conference in Las Vegas, Nevada, from May 9th, 2022 to May 11th, 2022. Are you all here for? Oh, you're here. Welcome.
Hello, Senate. I have a presentation prepared. So,
Awesome. Just give us 1 second.
all right. All right, thank you. So, hello, Senate. My name is Ryan Vargas. I am the current sitting president of the Financial Management Association. We are a business RSO focused on professional development and networking for finance majors as well as other business students. We currently have 34 active dues-paying members, and this presentation will be about our conference plans for this semester. So our intention is to attend the Money Show Las Vegas Investment Conference from May 9th to the 11th. Although yesterday the wording in the bill was amended to be May 8th through 12th because we would be flying into Vegas on the 8th and flying out on the 12th. Can I get the next slide, please? Oh, I got it. Okay. So a little bit about our conference goals. Our intention is for 16 of our members to attend. We have 8 board members as well as our 8 top points earning members. So those points are based off of how active the members are in the club. So basically the most active people would be rewarded with the opportunity to attend this conference with us. The benefits to the members who get to attend would be a reward for their activity and their involvement in the RSO. It would provide them with an array of networking opportunities. We would get to attend a variety of workshops and other events that would teach us about investing, portfolio management, and topics of that nature. It would broaden our understanding of topics that we typically learn in the classroom. It would be very exciting to go into that environment and learn from experts in the industry in order for us to prepare for roles that we will be looking to take on in our professional careers. A full itinerary will be made available to us by the end of the month. So now we'll move into the cost breakdown portion of this presentation. As far as registration for the conference is concerned, the maximum cost per ticket will be $145, but our liaison from the conference told us that we could get a 20% student discount. But worst case scenario, the registration for all 16 members would be $2,320. As far as airfare is concerned, we got a quote from Spirit Airlines. The individual round trip ticket cost to Vegas and back for each person would be $261.55. So the total ticket cost for all 16 people would be $4,184.80. And finally, our lodging, we will be staying at Bally's Las Vegas Hotel and Casino. This is located on the same property that the conference is happening at. We have the potential to reserve rooms at a slightly discounted rate through the organizers of the conference because they do have a room block as part of their agreement with the hotel. But this quote on the screen is from our call with Bally's directly. That number is actually supposed to be 109. That's a little error there. But worst case scenario, the total lodging cost for 8 rooms, so 2 people a room for 4 nights, would be $3,488. So our total conference cost would be $9,992.80. And our requested Senate contribution is $4,996.40. And I am open to take any questions that any of the Senate members here today might have. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now in line for questioning. D-Leg Bonifant.
When would you know about the discount?
We can email that person, and as soon as we're able to spend money, basically we can tell them like, oh, hey, we're ready to move forward on the deal that we were offered.
Anyone else with questions? Vice Chair Foster.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to go to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Chair Temple.
May I retain?
You may.
All right. So as I said, so first off, everything seems to be in order. And as I told Decca last time, and as I told you earlier, I am very happy to see business RSOs go out and make a name for UCF. So once we get you through, I wish you the best of luck in Vegas. Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote on Fiscal Bill 5352. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we'll now be in voting procedures. With a vote count of 18 to 0 to 1, Fiscal Bill 5352 passes second reading.
Thank you, Senate.
Alrighty, resolutions none, special acts none, internal committee caucus time none, internal committee reports, E&A committee Chair Wanjun.
Hey everyone, this week in committee we went over chapters 607 through 614 of Title VI, which is a lot more interesting than a lot of you probably think. This upcoming week we'll be going over chapter 606, which is all about violations, everyone's favorite. We'll also be having EC come in for the meeting after next, so March 14th, right after spring break, to go over chapter 601, all about the Election Commission. Also next week, we'll probably be having a really interesting conversation about write-in candidates and whether we should be writing more in statutes about how exactly they're treated in regards to election violations and other things like that. And just a reminder, we are still looking for a vice chair.
Any questions for Chair Wanjun? Seeing none, thank you. GAP committee, I will read their report. Good evening, y'all. We did not meet this week. However, we finished writing and preparing the thank you cards to all the legislators that we met at the Capitol. If you have any questions for GAP, please feel free to reach out to GAP leadership. LGR committee, both of them are not here. I will read it for you. So we saw 5 absence requests this week and reviewed Title 13. The absence requests are listed in the minutes, in the agenda. And Chair Hall asks that if she is mispronouncing your name or gets your title wrong, please let her know. If you have any questions, please reach out to LJR leadership. SBA Committee, Chair Bertram.
Good evening, Senate. This week in SBA, we finished workshopping the Eternal Nights proclamations. I wanted to thank everybody who helped during the writing process. It's a great way to remember the students and honor their families. So thank you to everybody that helps contribute. Furthermore, for those that are introducers, please be on the lookout for an email from me tomorrow just regarding the introduction of the proclamations when they get to the Senate floor. And then lastly, we approved Proclamation 5310.
Any questions for Chair Bertram? Seeing none, thank you. Confirmations, none. Internal legislation, notice of legislation on first reading. Constitutional amendments, none. Bills, none. Resolutions, Resolution 5337, resolution urging the University of Central Florida to begin Phase 2 of the Performing Arts Center, introduced by Pro Tempore Kehoe. Is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamations. Proclamation 5311, proclamation in memory of UCF student Deborah Levy, introduced by Chair Bertram, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5312, proclamation in memory of UCF student Cadell Whiteside, is hereby, introduced by Pro Tempore Kehoe, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5313, proclamation in memory of UCF student Makia Williams, is introduced by Chair Gell, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5314, proclamation in memory of UCF student Joshua Sanchez, introduced by Chair Gell, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5315, proclamation in memory of UCF student Wendy Thurman, introduced by Vice Chair Boysen, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5316, proclamation in memory of UCF student Daniel Zarfa, introduced by Vice Chair Boysen, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5317, proclamation in memory of UCF student Andrew Krebs, is hereby introduced by Chair Holmes, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5318, proclamation in memory of UCF student Zane Underwood, introduced by Chair Bertram, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5319, proclamation in memory of UCF student Annabelle Drupal, introduced by Chair Holmes, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5320, proclamation in memory of UCF student Jordan Cronin, introduced by Aile Horta, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5321, proclamation in memory of UCF student Tracy Chirgova, introduced by Chair Bertram, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5322, proclamation in memory of UCF student Jacob Cat Howard, introduced by Senator Moll, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5323, proclamation in memory of UCF student Sahal Samra, introduced by Senator Moll, is remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5324, proclamation in memory of UCF student Angus Strandride, introduced by Senator Jacobs, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5325, proclamation in memory of UCF student Georgine Wright, introduced by Senator Jacobs, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5326, proclamation in memory of UCF student Jacqueline Elrich, introduced by Vice Chair Richard, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5327, proclamation in memory of UCF student George Zambrano, introduced by Chair Mitchinson, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5328, proclamation in memory of student Levlin Justy, is introduced by Deeser Magdadaro, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5329, proclamation in memory of UCF student Hunter Haskins, introduced by Chair Bertram, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5330, proclamation in memory of UCF student Christopher Langston, introduced by Deeser Magdadaro, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5331, proclamation in memory of UCF student Anthony Silva, introduced by Deeser Magdadaro, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5332, proclamation in memory of student Delaney Girtas, introduced by Deeser Magdadaro, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5333, Proclamation of Mia Marcano, introduced by Speaker Ninobi, is hereby remanded to SBA. Proclamation 5334, Proclamation in memory of UCF student Elizabeth Ellie Lavera, introduced by Chair Bertram, is hereby remanded to SBA. Special acts, none. Notice of legislation on third reading, none. Notice of legislation on second reading, constitutional amendments, none. Bills, none. Resolutions, excuse me. Is this? Okay. Yeah, resolutions, none. Proclamations. Proclamation 5310, proclamation recognizing the crisis in the Philippines after Super Typhoon. I can't see that last word. Introduced by APIA Caucus Chair Temple. You have 3 minutes whenever you're ready.
All right, thank you, Speaker Ananobi. So let me give you guys some context here. So in late December 2021, what is the equivalent of a Category 5 hurricane, which was named Rai or Odette in the Philippines, had struck the country and had torn through the central parts of the Philippines. I regret that I did not bring a map with me, but needless to say, the Philippines is an archipelago of about 700 islands. And within the center of those islands are many, many, many islands, one of which includes the province of Cebu, which is, I believe, where Deeser Magdadaro's family hails from. So not only does this impact on a number of students here, but also affects her family personally. But needless to say, as you can see from the proclamation in itself, the typhoon, my apologies, had caused an insurmountable amount of damage, especially for a country whose economy is only now developing. So like hundreds of thousands of homes were destroyed. The equivalent of roughly, I believe it was 668 million Philippine pesos, which is around $13 million in US, was caused in that Visayas region, the central region of the Philippines alone. And it's going to take months, if not years, for the Philippines to recover from this again because of its developing status, which means that its government will not be able to recover or be able to respond in much of its capacity because the infrastructure in itself was also heavily damaged, if not destroyed. The United States, as well as other Western nations, as well as UNICEF and other UN organizations have approached this, but the aid is slow going. And it is regrettable for me to say this, but not many people have known about this crisis, despite the fact that we live in a city, let alone a county that has a not insignificant number of Philippine citizens living here. And I myself I was quite traumatized when I heard this from a friend of mine who is from Cebu as well. So it just only pushed me to write this proclamation in order to at least recognize something, in order to drive some sort of action amongst the UCF institutions or RSOs. So I will yield to questions.
We are now in line for questioning. Chair Bertram.
I know during SBA, it was brought up on whether you had brought this to the attention of the Filipino Student Association. So I was just wondering if there was any follow-up on that.
So while I wasn't able to gain contact with the FSA in itself, I had reached out, but I had yet to receive any word back. I had reached out to APAC, which is the umbrella organization for all Asian American RSOs, including FSA. And I actually was able to gain the sponsorship of APAC from its president, who was also Filipina. So I hope that does rectify any concerns that Senator Mole and the SBA committee had brought up.
Deeser Magdadaro. There's been a motion to go to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Vice Chair Costas.
Yeah, this is a fantastic proclamation by Chair Temple. The United States has really done a number on this region through their imperialistic drives, and now climate change also really brought about by the United States' actions are clearly facing consequences in the Philippines. So I think to recognize this as a university and to do something about it is a good idea, and I encourage you all to vote in favor.
Deezer Magdadaro.
May I retain?
You may.
I will also obviously be voting in favor for this. I was privileged enough to see Ethan draft this wonderful proclamation. It's clearly heavily researched, and I'm speechless as to how well this is written, and I'm very proud that this is that he wrote this. And yeah, with that, move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote on Proclamation 5310. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we will now be in voting procedures. With a vote count of 21 to 0, Proclamation 5310 passes second reading. Alrighty. Vice Chair Foster.
Move to return to caucus reports.
There's been a motion to return to caucus reports. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there.
Okay, guys. Today Sierra could not come, so I'll give you her announcements. Hey, y'all. I don't usually miss Senate meetings, but I had some homework to catch up on. Monday, our Melanated and Making History was a success. A bit stressful, but we got it done. Wednesday, the panel at Evans was spectacular, and the turnout was jaw-dropping. Apparently, you kids are still raving about it. Thank you, Shanira, for coming and dropping knowledge. Our next meeting is Monday, the 28th at 3 p.m. If you have any collab ideas, we'd love to hear them. Lastly, Black History Month Spotlight. Marsha P. Johnson. She was a transgender activist and a founding member of the Gay Liberation Front, which is geared to fighting oppression towards individuals of the LGBTQ plus community.
Any questions for Vice Chair Foster? Chair Duquette.
I know I did this earlier, but not a question, just another shout out. This is great. The work that you all did with that event, especially considering that your chair had only been there for 2 weeks. It's a huge deal. You all did amazing. And I know how much work it takes to set one of those events up, and you all really killed it. So congrats.
Well, yeah, thank you. That means a lot. We actually looked towards your caucus, and Adrienne, she helped us a lot. So we kind of I guess in a way, you guys were set a really good precedent, a really good example. So that's where we got it from.
Aile Huerta.
Move to go back to Senate Forum.
There's been a motion to return to Senate Forum. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Senate Forum, Chair Gell.
Hi, everyone. So I'll just get straight to it. I met with WHIPS last Friday, and they disclosed to me Safety Week is coming up February 28th through the 4th, which is the week that we are voting for Senate. So yay. I just wanted to give some updates of the events that are happening. Monday, there's a Safety Night Week carnival is what I meant to say, but it says carnival, so I'll fix that. On Memory Mall. Tuesday, something awesome's happening. The ACT Narcan training is finally released. This is something that old Chair Jones and I were working on with SHS, and then it moved to WHIPS. So now that is something that I'm hoping you all can spread to RSOs you're involved in, that is going to be available at the RWC room 206 from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. And there will be a yoga night under the stars that same day at 9 p.m. The ACT training as well, if there are groups that are interested, because I do know the LGBTQ plus group was super interested in this. There are taking group trainings. However, you will need to email WHIP. So if any groups that you know of are looking for that, please feel free to reach out to me, because I will be having another meeting with them. And then Wednesdays, there are QR P-thon. I won't read through everything. I will put it all there. I just wanted to highlight the more important things. And then HIV testing, WHIPs from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So please get tested if you need to. I think it's also super important. And I also wanted to recommend you all to attend your RSO's general body meetings. I was able to attend the Palestinian Student Association's meeting this week, and it was so informative. And it is it's very interesting to see how many RSOs know about us, but still feel very marginalized and feel very underrepresented. And I think it's very important for us as senators to be in constant contact with the student body. and be in constant contact with the RSOs you represent, because to them you could just be a name on an email, but if you show up and you let them know, hey, you're heard, I'm here to help you, like that is what our job is. And so I just really want to encourage you all to do that, because I found it very, very, very informative. And yeah, those are just some of the updates that I have.
Thank you. And I will also second going to RSO meetings. I know a lot of RSOs do appreciate it with that face-to-face interaction, or whether they're meeting on Zoom. I know we do tend to do emails, which can help, but also taking that extra step to go to that meeting can really make a difference to any student, really. So thank you for that. And then Vice Chair Foster.
Yeah, I'll be speaking really quickly for Chair Holmes again. There's also free HIV testing at Sanford House 711 Seminole Avenue, Monday through Friday from 5 to 8. And if you want more information on that, she says go to miracleoflove.org.
Thank you. Anyone else with Senate Forum? Seeing none, Senate deliberations. Any senator wishing to enter a period of deliberations over a particular topic and or issue? Seeing none, advisors report. Brody.
All right. Hey, everybody. I don't have much for you other than just to say elections are happening. I know I've said it every week. You all are doing a wonderful job of not talking about it and bringing it up in the office as much as possible. Regardless of whether you are campaigning or running again, please vote next week. More engagement, regardless of from who, is always a good thing. So make sure you take the time to vote on my UCF. Shanira mentioned this, but I'll reiterate. I am going to encourage all of these Senate candidates and all of the newly senators-elect, once they are elected, to reach out to various senators, and especially those in leadership roles, to go to committee meetings, to go to Senate after they've been elected, because I think the more informed they are, the better off Senate will be when it starts in the 54th. So I hope you are all your wonderful, gracious selves and are generous with your time to help answer questions and show them how Senate works and what you all are doing, especially those in leadership positions, what your committees or caucuses are working on and all of that. Yeah, with that, are there any senator shout outs? All right, y'all didn't do anything this week. No, just kidding. Jessica.
I guess I will be shouting out everybody who wrote Eternal Nights proclamations. That is a very, very heavy thing to do, dealing with death, especially people who are gone too soon. And it is difficult, and I am proud of you that you guys were able to write lovely stuff about.
Learn.
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out my fellow pro temps. They helped me with some of the fiscal bills this week because it was a lot. And then they did more than they expected. So hopefully I'm very appreciative.
Nathan?
Along the same note, I was going to shout out D-Leg Bonifant because she has been put through the ringer this week. And she has had a lot to do. And luckily, she doesn't have to write any more fiscal bills for this session. So congrats to her.
Ethan?
All right, so I wanted to shout out Chair Holmes in absentia because of her Melanated Making History event, which is honestly so inspiring. And as somebody who has just come into a caucus leader position myself, long night. Oh man, I lost where I was going. Anyway, she's basically inspired me to try and develop my own events for the APIA caucus going forward. And then also shout out to you, Brody, for fixing up my snafu for the fiscal bill. So thank you for that.
No worries. Any other shout outs? Yeah, Loki.
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out Senator Temple. We noted it in SBA that your use of a proclamation was really unique. It's not the type of proclamation that we really see a whole lot of. So really props to you for using the proclamation in such a unique way and for something so important.
All right, any other shout outs? Oh, Shanira, I'm so sorry.
I know she's not here, but Sierra, shout out to you. Thank you for having the panel. It was really eye-opening, and I love talking with kids and telling them about ways they could get involved on college and being more well-rounded. So thank you.
All right, anybody else? All right.
Hello, everyone. Today, I went to the sustainability picnic that LGBTQ plus services put on. I want to shout out Julian and Nathan for being there in support. It was awesome. I have this link from last week for how to get updates on your bills. There is the bill tracker. I think it was linked earlier too, but just in case anyone is curious, because we've been getting questions. There's a couple caucuses I have not gotten minutes from in a while. I think APA caucus, I might be missing some of your stuff. So just make sure you're getting that over to me on a weekly basis. My Adobe is fixed and everything should be up to date on the website. So I just want to make sure that people have access to your minutes if they're unable to meet your meetings. Same thing that I said last week about if there's changes in committees or caucuses in terms of leadership, make sure I know so that I can update the website. I don't think there have been any that I haven't got yet, but just letting you all know. And then our last diversity seminar for the session is not tomorrow, but the Friday after, March 4th. Professor Zargar is going to be doing an interfaith dialogue where we can talk a little bit about our belief systems, the religions we are or are not a part of. So I think it'll be really interesting to have this kind of roundtable discussion. This will be on Zoom, so it's going to be a little bit shorter than our diversity seminars have been in the past. It's going to start at 1:30 and you should still be done by 3 at the latest. He said he only needed an hour. And yeah, so it'll be on Zoom. I will be sending out the link either tomorrow or on Monday, but you can do it from the comfort of your own home. And I think it'll be a really great opportunity for us to not only get to know each other a little bit better, but to discuss religion and how it impacts different people's lives. So yeah, I'm excited to have that opportunity to speak with you all. And besides that, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask now or reach out to me via email.
Thank you. Alrighty. Miscellaneous business. Resignations. I hereby resign Chair Mitchinson from ENA. Alrighty. Chair Go.
Yeah, I just have one more thing I wanted to say. Women's Caucus is holding a panel during Women's Empowerment Conference. So I am looking for input as to if anyone knows any like super involved women that come from different backgrounds. Like I'm looking for a very diverse panel of people who have had experience at UCF, who are just well-rounded individuals and honestly good people to speak at the conference. So if you have any ideas, please reach out to me as to who you think they are. My kind of expectations with this, I would like someone of every different shade and someone of different backgrounds, like religious backgrounds and stuff like that. So if you have any advice or anyone in mind, please reach out to me.
Vice Chair Richard.
May I direct your question to Vice Chair or Chair Go? Are you looking for professionals or students?
Students.
Alrighty, thank you. Keogh's Killer Couture.
Yeah, so this week, I'll put it in order actually. Okay, third place, we're gonna do Chair Bertram because he got a new shirt. Sorry, that sounded way more shady than it should have been. I did not mean it like that. Okay, sorry everyone. Second place, we're gonna do Eli Jimenez. She always comes with the black shirts, and I love them. And then first place is gonna go to Aloe because I love the outfit. It's like innovative today, is how I would describe it.
Awesome. Alrighty. Chair Temple.
Move to adjourn pending final roll call.
There's been a motion to adjourn pending final roll call. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there.
Okay. So I'm here. Pro Tem Kehoe.
Present.
Senator Mole.
Here.
Chair Matan is excused. Senator Dench.
Present, sorry.
Chair Bertram.
Present.
Vice Chair Richard.
Present.
Chair Mitchinson.
Present.
Senator Hedman.
Present.
Chair Temple.
Present.
Speaker Ananobi.
Here.
Chair Wanjan.
Present.
Senator Simcoe.
Present.
Chair Block. Vice Chair Amin,
Here.
D-Leg Bonifant,
Present.
Chair Galloway, Vice Chair Foster,
Present.
Chair Dunn,
Present.
Vice Chair Taylor, Senator McElvin, Senator Patel, Senator Jacobs,
Here.
D. Sir Magdadaro, Vice Chair Costas,
It's Costas in here.
okay, Senator Collins,
Here.
Chair Holmes, Chair Cerisi, Chair Duque,
Here.
Ayala Huerta, Eli Jimenez,
Present.
and Vice Chair Boysen. Okay, with 26 out of 32, quorum is complete.
Thank you. I hereby adjourn this meeting at 9:11 p.m.